We should be good to go now. So find a typeface that you're going to alter, and you're going to end up taking it, putting it in Illustrator, and then adjusting it from there. We'll talk about that in a second. The second thing that you're going to do after you find your typeface, draw and write out notes about how you want to alter it. And the alterations must follow theme. So figure out how you're going to alter something. The alterations that we're going to make have to have some type of a theme with it. Now, let me see if I can pull this up to show you. Say I'll go. When we alter this typeface, I'm going to limit you guys to capitals only because that's a whole lot of letters if we're building the entire thing. So we'll keep it to just capitals only. So it'll be R26, okay? But if I were to use this as a typeface that I want to try to adjust, I need to figure out what I want to do with it. So I have some thin lines that I can utilize. I have a lot of really thick sections. The cool part about the thick sections is that I can add a lot of negative space things into that. I might take this and look at it and say, okay, let me write down and break down what this typeface represents to me. I like it, but why? Well, I like how solid it looks. There's a lot of consistency between all of them. It also looks very structural, like architectural. Like the extensions, the C and the B and the A look like almost beams that are sticking out of the side of a building, right? So as I'm trying to break this down, I'm like, hey, all this stuff is really cool. What about if I start kind of playing with this? And again, you're doing this sketching out. I'm not worried about, if you want to do it on the computer, you can. But I'm thinking more your brain getting down on paper and pens. But what if I were to go do something like this, where I take my shape and I put a white stroke on this. White. And then maybe I duplicate it. Like that. That could look kind of cool. And then I can take that same thing. I can duplicate it. See, the next ones are all vertical. So I'll take this. Try to get that as vertical as I can. And then I'll go it's kind of a start, right? Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know what it necessarily represents. I'm just kind of showing you the process. But I'm starting to kind of figure out how to change that. What if I end up going like this and I take these things? Let me unlock this. I'm going to outline my type. And then I'm going to go use this tool that we'll talk about later. But I'll go... Oops. anymore. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. Do I like that? Maybe not. Maybe I can adjust a little bit, but see, I'm trying to like figure out how I can make them all look like they're part of the same family still, and I'm making that adjustment. I might make some of this. Now, does this have a theme? No, not really. If I wanted to theme it, maybe I put like, maybe I have like different moons here, right? Like going like the lunar calendar, like different moons kind of shift over or something like that. But I'm taking this original typeface that I found and I'm creating it to be my own. So how are you going to make the alterations? What do you want? How do you want to show it? You can, if you would like, add things to this. Say instead of doing all this stuff that I just did, say I want to go through with color. And I want to take all this negative space that I have and I want to put like some floral shapes or something like this, like that in this. Maybe I'll just decide to go like this, and instead of doing the circles like I did, I might go circle, come back. I might put this in a whole new layer myself. I'll just use this as the framework. I'll put one there. And then I will go like this. And I'll take these handles down to make a half circle. And I will fill it. And maybe I'll go like this. Add this color, this one, this color. I'll throw another one up here. Not necessarily trying to make a pattern, but maybe I'll do like some geometric shapes like that because I want it to be bright and more like it looks like it's built or put together. So really giving a lot of creativity to you. Now, my fear in doing this is I'm giving you guys so much freedom that you're just going to be like shell shocked and just kind of look at the typeface and be like, I don't know what to do. I don't understand. Or you're playing video games right now and not listening to me in the first place, and that's really going to turn out bad too. So that's what we're looking for, though, when we're trying to customize and personalize our own typeface. Okay. So number one, find a typeface you want to alter. Capitals. Did I spell that right? Capitals only. Draw and write out notes. How you want to alter it. Figure out what the theme is. Is your theme going to be fruits and vegetables? I just thought about that because that's shapes that I was making, a bunch of watermelon pieces or something. Is your theme going to be spring? And so you're going with warm colors because you can add color to it. You can do warm colors. If your theme going to be architecture, you're gonna have like blueprint lines all over it. You can put characters in it if you would like to, but what we need to do is make sure that we keep our ultimate project in mind, which is going to go here. Let me go first. So number 3, once you kind of figured out how you're going to once you figure out how you're going to do all this stuff, you need to you need to design the necessary letters to build 6 words. And then you need to design the 6 words using your new typeface. Okay? Think about our thought process. I'm not just going to go straight into designing 26 different letters because If I design 26 different letters and then there's an issue with one of them that your theme that you set isn't going to work, I have to go back and redesign the other 25 letters to match that new change that I did. Because if not, you're going to have one. Yeah.
Are we only designing the letters that are going to be in the words?
For number 3, yes.
Okay.
And this is the reason for that. It's kind of like it's like you got to cook for a family of 50. You have a family reunion, right? You got to cook a whole bunch of food, and you want to make this one dish. Well, you're not just going to start making all of it in bulk without trying the ingredients first to make sure it works. So you're going to make yourself a serving first. You're going to try it. Perfect. That works great. And then you're going to make everything else. So you're going to get a couple words, and I'm talking words like dog, fun. You don't need to have like Aurora Borealis as one of your words, So just like little small words, but so they're readable. Hop, shop, stuff like that. But use a couple different letters. I'm only assuming you make like 5 or 6 of them, and then once they get all made up, then you can lay out your 6 different words, and we can see how readable it is. Does that make sense? Okay. Number 4. Now, hopefully by number 5, we will be. This is because those first 4 are going to take. We'll probably go till next Tuesday. That's how much time I'm thinking we should be taking on this. With all your other classes and stuff you're doing, we should have 1 hour work days where we can get all this stuff together. Don't worry about on Saturday you sit down and you kick out all this stuff like, well, no, so I'm done. I'd prefer you to kind of stretch it out a little bit to make sure that we're all kind of on the same page. But see, design your 6 words. Okay, number 5. Did you lay out the rest of the alphabet? And when we get to that point, I'll give you a couple pointers and tips in terms of your height and stuff. But again, if you're kind of sticking to the anatomy of the typeface that you originally found, you shouldn't have to worry too much about it. Like I said before, at number 5, we should be all onto the computer by this point. We have our programs we can work in, and we can do all that stuff. So we'll be transitioning to the computer by that point. And then once you set up the whole rest of the alphabet, you have everything ready to go. Number 6 will be our final for this project. Is you're going to design 4 posters featuring your typeface and meaningful quotes. So there'll be 1 quote for each typeface, or sorry, for each poster, and they'll be presented in a way. We'll go through this. This will be like in 2 weeks or so. We'll go through how we're going to set up our poster, take our own personal typeface that we've made, and set up a quote so you can have it printed out and put up on your wall, or you can send it someplace or post it online or do any of that type of stuff. But you're using a typeface that you have branded, that you've made, that you've kind of created as your own. That makes sense? I'm really excited to see kind of where this goes, because the end result's going to be pretty fun. To have something that means something to you. The quote means something to you. It was something that you are passionate about or you want to represent. But along with that, there's something that you have created to kind of meet that. Now, the last thing that I'll say with this whole project laid out, when I talk about the alterations may follow a theme, I would start figuring out what quotes or what type of quotes you might want to use. Because if there's a theme in your quotes, you want to make sure the theme of your typeface doesn't counter it, unless you want to do that. Right? If I'm doing a quote talking about racial equality, I might not want to use a typeface that has a bunch of flowers and the floral patterns on it, right? Or I do want to. Like if you have something that's really, really heavy and loaded, maybe you do want to use something a little bit lighter. Or if you want to do a quote talking about like, being strong and being, a hard worker and stuff like that. And then you have this really skinny, like almost like dashed line looking typeface. It might not get that same point across. So if you start to find like a theme with the quotes that you're focusing on, maybe work that into the theme of your typeface that you make. I don't want you to make a typeface where you are just writing out your own handwriting and then turning that into a font. I want you to be more structural with how you are trying to address these situations. Okay, so let me go like this. Our first assignment, because I like breaking these up in little subgroups so I can keep an eye on you guys. Oops. Flip this. No. Cancel. Buttons. Quick keys. Okay, let's try this again. The first part of your assignment is going to be right here. Find the typeface you want to mess with, and then draw and write out notes on how you want to alter them. You could put little sketches on it, stuff like that. List what your theme is, but that will be turned in to me, and I'll have that one. Are like all your teachers having their assignments due by Sunday night? Okay, I got a couple.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, so a couple of no's and one yes. Is it stressful to have everything due by Sunday night? Because I can push it back to like a Monday or something.
I like the Monday.
Yeah, I like Monday way better.
It gives us the whole weekend to work on it.
Well, let me ask you guys this, because you're my old group. Hold on one second. I have a child at my door. Sorry. You're my older group, so I can kind of trust you guys a little bit more. If I were to say, have the typeface that you're going to work on, like what the typeface name is, what it kind of looks like, what are some anatomical portions of it, and then how you want to try to change it. Could you have all that done by Friday or not? Have the rest of the day today and tomorrow?
Oh, that stuff? Yeah, easy.
Just that first part? Because then you can get that by Friday. You don't have to worry about anything on the weekend, and then we'll pick up on the next part for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That sound all right?
Can it, like the due date time, can it be like midnight?
Yeah, it usually is. And honestly, if you end up turning on Saturday, I'm not going to fault you for it. But I just don't want you to like push it, because you know how we all are. You push it all back until Sunday at 10 o'clock, and you're struggling trying to get this thing done. You're like, oh my gosh, I haven't finished it yet. So if we have tomorrow or today, the rest of the class, which is like 20 minutes, and then tomorrow, all class to work on kicking this part out. And then the next section will be right here, number 3 and number 4. So then for the next couple of days, we'll start working on putting them into words. Write out maybe the 6 words you're going to use. This is how I would approach it. Write out the 6 words you're going to use, and then write the letters that are included in that. You want to get like a small group, 6, 7, 8, something like that. And then design those ones, lay them out in words, kind of see how that goes. If we have computer access by that time, hopefully we'll all be using that, because they're supposed to get it figured out this week, I believe. If you don't have computer access, I'm totally fine with you drawing it out if you feel comfortable doing that. But drawing out your words, but we'll get that figured out. And then the final part into that last week, we'll have about probably 5 days or so to start designing our entire alphabet and putting it all together in putting our posters together.
Okay, and for the theme, does it have to like be meaningful to you?
No, you can do food if you want to, but it's got to look nice, and it's got to make sure it matches all the way across. Like if you were to do, I did a typeface project in college in my typography class. We had to use a common theme. There's something I kind of wanted to do with you guys instead, but we're doing this one instead. It was use a common theme in photographs to build Typeface. And so I just took a bunch of food and I sketched it all out in my sketchbook. And I said, okay, let's see, what are the hardest letters to make out of, or the easiest letters to make out of food? I said, okay, well, an apple. I can use an apple as like an O. And so I said, okay, apple can be an O. I'm like, well, what about a D? I said, ooh, I can cut a chunk off the apple, the backside of it, and take a picture of the apple. And so I realized I can just use food in multiple ways. Like a W was really hard. So I took pasta. I took a bunch of straight pasta and I laid it down on a white piece of paper and took a picture of it as a W. And then I cooked the pasta and I laid it on a white background and made an S. And so it was always like a before and after. I took strawberries and I built I think like a B or something like that. And then I ate all the strawberries and used the tops to make a Q. So I did like a before and after. Popcorn kernels to make something, and then I popped all the popcorn and used the popcorn to make something else. But that was definitely a theme, right? The theme was a bunch of different food products. So the theme is really up to you. Your theme can be geometry, like just geometric shapes. You have a bunch of cool, like crystallized looking geometric shapes all over the place. That's definitely a theme. So it doesn't have to be like your theme is, world hunger or something like that. Like some like big, like powerful theme. It could be just shapes. Other questions you guys got? As I have this information up here for us. Cool. Okay. Well, then can we hop off right now? I will actually post the assignment for those of you that tried to add your assignment last night and realized that I never posted anything. I found out this morning it was still stuck in my drafts. I finished it, but my ADD kicked in. So I'll post the assignment for this. It'll just be this first chunk. So it'll be personal typeface, but then this will be like the subcategory of it is the find the typeface and find your sketches or do your sketches. And then we'll be good to go on tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have a check-in, like we do on every Wednesday as well. For all of you that didn't check in yesterday, remember I said on Wednesdays we're going to start off the class, normal class time. I'll do a quick check-in and then you'll go do your work. But I'm still going to do attendance that way because I ended up marking a bunch of you absent because I didn't hear from you for an entire day. Okay. So with that being said, if you've come in late, we listed our favorite cartoon character, our favorite childhood cartoons off to the right-hand side. And then you all can jump off and I will get that assignment posted so you can get it entered and turned in a picture of it by tomorrow night. Sounds good, guys. See you tomorrow.